You're listening to Soap Dirt, the latest in television entertainment news.
Hey Days fans, Melinda from Soap Dirt here, and we really have to talk about E.J. DiMera's dirty, dirty lies and what will become of baby Jude Brady DiMera when Nicole Walker finds out that Eric Brady is really her baby daddy. Will she hand over the infant before she leaves town? Because we know she's leaving. Let's unpack it all, but please subscribe first if you have not. Thank you so much. So this week is super messy on the NBC streaming soap, but at least it's getting the baby back in Nicole's arms. The problem is E.J. DiMera is sitting on this last bit of truth, and that truth is Eric is really the father of Nicole's child. And from what we're seeing, E.J. is fully planning to raise this boy as his own and make sure that Eric Brady never knows the truth. But Nicole right now is very sad about Eric losing a child. And she actually mentioned how terrible it is that he had no biological children. I just don't know how she said that with a straight face, because I just want to remind you, Eric had the chance to have a biological kid with Jada Hunter when she turned up pregnant. That was right at the time when Eric and Nicole had decided to rekindle. So he was ending things with Jada. Nicole was walking away from her marriage to Rafe to be with him. But then Jada turned up pregnant. And at the time, and I still think it now, 100%, I think Nicole was a driving force that pushed Jada towards choosing abortion. Now, she didn't drive her to the clinic, but she told Jada she needed to be realistic and asked her why she would even want a baby when Eric doesn't want to be with her and only wants to be with Nicole. And then she started about how it would hurt her career and just how hard it is to be a single mother, and just hammered home every single point trying to cut that tie between Jada and Eric. And in the end, to me, watching it back then, I 100% felt like Nicole's chat directly led Jada to that abortion. And Eric thought so too. He reamed Nicole over what she said, and that was actually a deal breaker for that reunion. It led Nicole to EJ and Eric eventually to Sloan Petersen. So when the truth comes out about Jude, Nicole might feel, because of that abortion thing, that she owes Eric a baby, basically. She denied him the chance to be a dad to his unborn child with Jada by talking her into thinking about abortion. And now EJ has denied Eric the chance to be a dad by lying and forcing Sloan to keep the secret that Jude is really Nicole and Eric's baby. And EJ seems to be planning to let that lie stay in place forever. But we do know some things that are set in stone that are really going to hit this storyline hard. For instance, in less than 8 weeks, Nicole Walker exits Salem, likely for good. Ari Zucker's last air date is July 29th, she said. And that means this whole situation is going to blow up by then. And we also know Holly Jonas is not leaving Salem when her mother does, or if she leaves, she comes right back, because Ashley Puzemis is still on set shooting as Nicole's daughter. So the inside info I got also said that Holly is going to stay with her grandma, Maggie Horton. And yes, they may simply kill off Nicole's character. If they do that, then, that could be a means to leave the secret that Eric has a biological child hidden forever, which is terrifying. And, sometimes there's been paternity reveals that have taken like 8 years to happen on there. So it wouldn't be surprising. But I'm also pretty sure that Greg Vaughan exits the soap by the end of the year, because he was shooting up until April when they did the 15,000th episode, and he was in that 15,000th episode photo, and that episode airs in December, but I heard he left after that, so we shall see. The bottom line is, with one actor's exit confirmed and another hinted at, it just leaves us so many questions about what they're going to do with Jude when Ari Zucker exits the role of Nicole. If she's killed off, the kiddo would stay with EJ by default. But without Nicole around, would EJ even still want the baby? I mean, he only wants the baby right now to protect his marriage from falling apart. And if Nicole's gone, so is that motive. And if Nicole finds out the baby truth, I am certain she would run to Eric and tell him, and she'd walk away from EJ for good over that big fat lie. The only thing is, we of course know there's just this short runway before she leaves. So if Eric is going to find out about the baby before she exits, somebody needs to open up the DiMera safe and see that genetic test that reveals the truth. We know Sloan is around this Friday. She creeps into the DiMera mansion and gets into a brawl with Nicole. Maybe she wants to explain herself, or maybe she just wanted one last goodbye with Jude before she skips town to spend Eric's big payoff fortune that he offered. I mean, it'd be great if Sloan told the truth before she skipped out of Salem. That would be the best outcome, other than, the fact that Sloan is scared EJ's going to have her tossed in jail for the rest of her life, and she's very much into preserving herself. So hopefully after Nicole punches Sloan, she just gets up and runs, and that leaves 8 weeks for Nicole or EJ or someone else to figure out the truth and spill the beans. I suspect it could be Kristen DiMera who sniffs out the secret. Maybe she notices that EJ is standoffish about Jude and not cuddly like he would be, or maybe she gets in the safe, sees the envelope, opens it on a whim, and then decides to double check with the DNA test. And if she turns to Dr. Rolf for the test, well, he already ran it and he's got the info she needs. The question is whether Rolf would betray EJ and tell Kristen. He might. I do think he is closer to Kristen than he is to EJ. Kristen might just skip over making any threats and just go straight to Nicole and just tell her the truth to punish EJ for being so douche-tastic for the past year, because he has been. Either way, I really, really hope Nicole finds out that EJ lied and that he used Sloan's kidnapping and lies to do Eric dirty, and, to also do Nicole dirty by not letting her raise her child with the man whose child that she carried. So it could be that Nicole has some sort of breakdown and leaves town, if so, and she knows the Jude paternity secret. I could totally see her putting that baby in Eric's arms before she leaves town, maybe planning to come back after she gets some kind of help. She would want that Eric to have the chance to be with a baby that's his biologically, and I don't think she would want to cheat him out of that. I don't think she wants him to miss another moment. And if it doesn't go that way, we could have smug EJ DiMera raising that Brady baby without Nicole. But I really, really want Eric to have his kid. And maybe if Nicole leaves town and hands the kid to Eric, he might later decide to leave town and go meet her, so they raise the child together while Holly stays in Salem. Kind of how they did the deal where everybody, Sean and Belle, went to where Bo is in rehab. They could write the exit that way so it covers more than one person's exit. But at the same time, I am quite worried that the powers that be will kill off Nicole Walker to punish Ari Zucker and basically make sure there's no role left for her on the soap because of this lawsuit. And nothing's going to happen until it's settled, dismissed, or litigated. And generally networks don't take back actors that sue them, so problematic. Who do you want to see raising baby Jude? Do you want it to be Nicole as a single parent, Nicole with EJ, Nicole with Eric, or Eric as a single parent when Nicole finally leaves? Let me know what you think in the comments. Subscribe and definitely come back soon. And as always, I'm your host, Belinda from Soap Dirt.
Thank you for being a loyal listener. Follow us wherever you get your podcast, because you don't want to miss the next episode. Soap Dirt is on all the major podcast platforms, including Apple Podcast, Spotify, iHeartRadio, and more.